Hello everyone, I'm ImKibitz and welcome back to Satisfactory, where we're gonna see what happens when I cause a world-ending nuclear apocalypse. Because I did a 1,000-hour playthrough where I built a lot of stuff that needed a huge nuclear power plant to keep running, right? And although there were a few accidents, there was never a nightmare scenario where we had total grid failure. And that would mean all the power in my world crashes, my main modes of transport would be offline, and there'd be a small issue of millions of barrels of nuclear waste that can't be destroyed, mind you, clogging up my main power plant. And again, this didn't happen in my main playthrough, but I always wondered if it'd be possible to recover from it if it had, which is why we're here today. But before we ruin this world, let's see if we can fix yours with HelloFresh. HelloFresh is America's #1 meal kit service that brings fresh, pre-measured ingredients right to your door. No grocery stores, no stressful meal planning, and no crazy takeout bills. And look, I like cooking, I just don't want to leave my house. So HelloFresh is the perfect answer. HelloFresh also has more things to try than ever before, with 50+ dinner options and even more market items. There's also over 30 calorie smart and protein smart recipes each week, all of which is mission critical to a healthy lifestyle. But some say breakfast is also mission critical, and HelloFresh agrees. So it's giving all subscribers free breakfast for life. So try HelloFresh today and click the link in the description or use my code and get 10 free meals plus free breakfast for life. One breakfast item per box while your subscription is active in the US. Outside the US, the local discount will apply. So thank you HelloFresh for sponsoring this video. And let's get back to causing a nuclear apocalypse. And the key question is, how do we do it? Well, earlier I mentioned that I had a few nuclear accidents before. The worst of which was caused by an insidious mistake of my own creation involving kerium and drones. You see, the nuclear fuel rods that are made at the nuclear power plant needed uranium, of course. And one of the uranium sources was on the other side of the planet. So to make my life easier, I set up a drone system to fly the uranium over. However, I set up my nuclear power plant to run at 100% capacity, and the drones might not have been fast enough to deliver the uranium. So I tested its transport rate, or its throughput, with another resource called kerium, which wasn't radioactive. And once I saw the throughput was okay, I switched the belts over to uranium and the power plant got started. And for the next few hundred hours, everything worked great. I was producing around 300,000 megawatts and I was happy building my factories, knowing I'd never have to worry about power again. Back at the power plant though, there were hiccups in production due to tiny throughput issues with trains and a variety of other factors. And over time, these hiccups released poison into the plant. Because remember that kerium throughput test? Well, once I was done testing with it, I forgot to fully empty one of the drone ports. So it had both kerium and uranium. But the drones only take the top half of the drone port's material. So the kerium never would have actually gone through the system except for when those little hiccups in production happened. So over hours and hours, tiny bits of kerium made its way into the nuclear power plant and eventually stalled the system enough for me to notice and start fixing it. But what if I never noticed? What if I had gone AFK overnight or something like that? Well, then you better believe it would have caused a disaster of gargantuan proportions. And that's the scenario we're gonna let play out today. So I'll sabotage the drones to ruin the nuclear power plant. I went back to base and gave myself a normal inventory of equipment, stuff I usually take when I'm working on a project. Then I'll travel to my latest project area, which is the Dune Desert over here, where I was working on the last space elevator part. Now I'll just wait a couple hours for the world to collapse. Not too long later, our world's backup batteries have started to drain. Our production can't keep up with the consumption. I think we have like 2 to 4 hours left. I don't know, I don't think the game even knows. Oh, but man, things fell off a cliff dramatically because after about half an hour, we have 50% battery charge left. Production is down to 1/3, and I'm getting a little nervous here. Oh, game, thank you for letting me know there's a power storage warning. Definitely can fix it now, right? Not that we'd even try. Nope, we're waiting for the whole grid to die out. So 2% left. We're down to 40,000 megawatts of production. And in 3, 2, 1. That's it. All the fuses, priority switches, everything is broken. And the world is dead. But like for real? Like for real, for real, for real? Okay. Time to figure out what the heck to do. And where do we even start? Well, it wouldn't hurt to see how bad the situation is at the power plant. We just need a car now since it's the only way to get around. But I don't have the resources. How about this then? We're just gonna borrow a manufacturer. Okay? Let's go. Got a long drive ahead of us. It's a world beware. Kibitz is behind the wheel. All right, we are inbound. Let's assess the damage. And it's not looking good. But what is looking good is we have nuclear fuel rods all over the place. How do the machines look? Stuffed full of them? That's actually perfect. Before we even assess damage or look through the nuclear power plant, the big thing I want to do is reclaim as many of the nuclear fuel rods as we possibly can. Because if we're ever going to be able to save this world, at some point, we need these nuclear power plants online. And if we're mucking around with power switches and stuff like that, I don't want one of these reactors to turn on accidentally, burn a whole fuel rod, and then not even get our grid back online. And I guess at the same time, we want to get rid of the nuclear waste as well, or at least start organizing it, because we are going to have a lot of waste to deal with. But the good news, at least, is that we're getting tons of nuclear fuel rods back. And with this many, we should be able to recover the world. Eventually, in a couple hours, with this amount of fuel rods. I will be going insane though, slowly but surely, because there's this glitch with the belts right now, since the world is so big, where they don't update. So there's nothing here. They're not real here. There's none in the machine. These aren't on the belt. It's a lie. If you see nuclear waste somewhere, it's probably just an illusion. You see, all of this is an illusion. Everything's working fine. No problems at all. See, this isn't real. That might be real. But we're not gonna worry about that. We've done as much as we can over here. I'm just gonna add the waste onto the existing belts so that when we figure out a solution, we know which belt to get all the waste from. As for the fuel rods, we have a lot. We have thousands, which should keep the power plants running for maybe like an hour once we get them online again. So we have to be really, really careful for when we want to do that. Again, very big world here. 300,000 megawatts, it's used up pretty quick. Like the batteries, they drained in like an hour, less than an hour. But now we actually have to start getting the waste out of the power plant and processing it. Good news is I have plans and systems to do that. First, we have some pipes. Close valve in case of emergency. I think we're there, bud. And these pipes go to an emergency waste station. So in normal operations, all the stuff just flows down that way and off to normal facilities. For this situation, everything's gonna flow down, and we want it going that way. We have a bunch of power switches that control most of the rest of the factory. So meltdown, apparently it does nothing right now. Great, okay. This is the water pipes. Pump backup batteries. Do these work? Oh, that's huge. Okay, so there's an emergency battery system hooked up to the water pipes for the reactors. That is massive. Nuclear power plants take up a lot of water. So we have batteries somewhere that's going over to the water pumps so that we can turn them back on when we're ready. Good job, past Kibitz. Back to our switches here. The main grid, dead. Fuel rod production, doesn't matter. We have it on. No, that's flipped. This is flipped, okay. Yeah, this is more so a control system for when we notice there is a problem. Like we can switch off different parts of the factory. But now it's mostly useless. Aside from the pump backup batteries. Those are mission critical. But I think we only had like 20 minutes on those batteries, so we have to be really, really careful there. Now to start dealing with the elephant in the room, the nuclear waste. And I kind of lied earlier saying you couldn't destroy it. Because although you can't just trash it, because fix it does not waste, you can use nuclear waste in crafting, which is what half of this nuclear power plant is designed to do. It's designed to turn the nuclear waste into plutonium, So with some uranium, the waste, and a few other things, we make non-fissile uranium, which is used in these particle colliders and turned into plutonium pellets once they're mixed with more uranium waste. Then those pellets are combined with a variety of other things like concrete to become encased plutonium cells, then combined with more stuff to become plutonium fuel rods, which then can go and be destroyed. So really all we're doing with making the plutonium is destroying nuclear waste. But yes, it could be used for power, except for the fact that you make plutonium waste that way, and that's indestructible. But like, for real this time. So this is the main system we want to get back running. But with fully overclocked particle accelerators, it'll take a bit. Which is why I made a backup system in case of emergencies. Back where we have the main waste input, I have a toggle here, which when adjusted, can send nuclear waste to the emergency facility. In fact, is there another toggle down here? There has to be, right? Yeah? Yes. All right, I'll at least get some out of the way. Unfortunately though, I only mean some. I have no idea how much nuclear waste is around here, but I am sure it's probably around 1 million or 2 barrels. But okay, the emergency facility is just down over this way, where I have a plutonium setup that is made a little bit differently. Where instead of making the plutonium fuel rods, instead, we just go ahead and make plutonium pellets. And then downstairs, we go ahead and we encase them so we can stack more up and store them in this place. Where if it ever did fill up somehow, we'd be able to process it further and get rid of it. And knowing past Kibitz, it looks like we have a separate battery bank for this whole system. I don't think we'll turn it on just yet, but let's see what happens. 61%, 13 minutes, 20,000 megawatts. Okay, spooky. Now we'll turn this back on once we have more systems running and more of the waste is organized. Oh. This is all corrupted as well from the kerium. Oh my gosh, no, dude. Oh no, I didn't know this is even possible. Well, this just got a lot more annoying. But with smart splitters and a bin, we can at least prevent further contamination. And I can use another smart splitter by the drone ports here to prevent kerium from getting anywhere else as well. But there's still the kerium that got in that we still have to clear off the belts. And the internal buffers in the splitters, because those exist, by the way. Found that out during my last kerium disaster. But after about an hour of tedious belt rebuilding, the kerium is out of the system. We're back. Now we just have to figure out how to safely reboot the world's power grid, which will be easier said than done, because this power plant is fully overclocked. In order to build an insano world here, I cheated in power shards so I wouldn't have to build as many buildings, so the game would be playable by this point. But it also means you use exponentially more power. And oh, cool, the trains are crashing as well. Nice extra thing to deal with. But power-wise, we have to make a ton of power in order to get things booted up again. Or what if we don't? Dang it. You know, one of these times it maybe could work. But no, it's looking like we're gonna need about 80,000 megawatts in order to get everything started again. That's not good. That's practically impossible. Wait, no. I have an idea. If I disconnect factories unrelated to power production, we can get the max consumption number down and make it easier to boot the system back up. Just have to go on a world tour. Oh my goodness. A quick trip around the world seeing the mess I kind of made here. Whoops. We'll fix that later. Keep an eye on it, Mr. Bean. And we're going to start cutting factories off the grid. Like this space elevator part 1. Just have to find the power switch around here. I think this is it. Wait, that's turning it on. No, we want it off. Wait, if that switch was off already, does that mean everything here is still connected? That might be bad. I think for my own sanity though, we're gonna pretend that that switch works. Maybe like power switches turn off automatically when the power grid shuts down. Like, this is the assumption I'm making. Like, you have a power switch, and everything's running and fine, but when the grid dies, it automatically flips. That has to be what happened, which means all of this is now disconnected. But just in case, we can also delete the train tracks here, and now for sure this is all disconnected, because the tracks are the world's main power distribution network. Then the next destination is way over on the other side of the world in the green fields. Beep, beep, get off the street. Oh, but wait. My main base can be turned off. All I do here is produce weapons and sink the space elevator parts. So if this could be off the grid, that'd be grand. Just have to peasant trot up 50,000 staircases. But you know, kudos to past Kibs for actually building a walkable path upstairs. Something I did more so as an aesthetic thing, but it's come in really handy now. Grab a bunch of extra ones of those. And then over this way, I should just be able to turn this off. Oh, but it's already off. Okay, that's really good and also, kind of really bad. Because it seems then, when the power grid fails, all of these switches flip. But then if all of these switches have flipped, and I go to the green fields factory, that means that's already disconnected from the grid. Meaning we do actually need 80,000 megawatts to get our world started again. Uh-oh. Well, that sounds too scary to think about. So we're gonna go check the green field space anyway. Get off the streets! Oh my god, oh my god! My car! Stupid wildlife. All right, green fields time. This is where we're making nuclear pasta, and we have like 300 fully overclocked refineries upstairs there, and woo-wee. They absolutely do enjoy taking up the megawatts. Almost as much as all of the loops. And for sure, there's a power switch around here to turn all this off, right? Right? That's it, that's the one, we're good. Oh, and good thing we checked because it's actually not unflipped. So now all of this is disconnected from the grid, I think. Now, what about the refineries? I don't think that switch turned them off. Nope, that would be a negative Ghost Rider. But if we try to flip this on, what? It kind of worked for a second. How did that happen? How is there 92,000 megawatts of production? I don't know. There's hope. There's hope. We have to shut down some part of this. And I'm pretty sure there is a power switch downstairs. Down in the steel production area. Oh, yeah, well, hello, my friend. I don't think so. That should help a lot. I'm getting a little ahead of myself, though, but can we just reboot? No? Okay, that's totally fine. The main thing was getting this box offline. Because now that we've cut off a ton of power, we might be able to jumpstart the grid with our old fuel power plant. This place is a bit of a chonker. It took a lot of power in order to get the main nuclear power plant online, and it looks like it is still operational. Yeah, we got the resin there. Blenders are moving. Good. That is excellent. There's hope. How much power do we make here? Like 37,000 megawatts? That's not enough. And wait a second though, how is this even running at all? The entire power grid crashed. Why is this not crashed as well? Wait, batteries? Please have charge. Come on, believe. Whoa, that's actually amazing. Okay, those have charge. Are these full? Is this extra fuel? Bro, past Kibs, you are a saint. All right, well, this is the control room for it. Oil, water, that's all good. Generators, fuel grid, batteries. Batteries are online. Fuel grid is offline. Wait, is that the main grid? I'm scared. I'm almost too scared to flip this. I think this actually is the main grid. Yeah, that's the chaos going on there. Apparently we can get it started again, eh? Since we turned off so much. Geez, look at that. Will this just reboot the main grid? No. Oh no. I'm sorry. Oh no, I killed the fuel power plant. No, please. Oh, we're back. Oh my gosh! Well, that was horrifying. But what's scarier is that disconnecting everything barely helped, and we still need 80,000 megawatts pretty much. So we'd need like 40,000 megawatts along with the 40,000 megawatts from the fuel power plant here. We have emergency fuel though, but I need to feed that into like 107 fully overclocked fuel generators to get that 40K. And that power source wouldn't even last long. So I'm thinking we have two options. One incredibly risky one, the other has like a 50% chance of actually working. But if it does work, it would save us hours. And I think we're gonna try the risky option first. We have a good chunk of uranium fuel rods. So if I throw some into the system, that should get a couple reactors with fuel rods. So I'm thinking if we can boot up even a few reactors, we can at least hit the extra 40K megawatts we need to restart the grid. But if this doesn't work, we lose our precious pump backup batteries and we're kind of at square one again, if not worse so. So let's just try it. YOLO. 15 minutes I saw, all right. Please work. Come on. This is operational. Nuclear grid's online. Hold up. Are we back? Oh! We're back? Batteries are charging. How? Consumption's only at that? Production's back up. That's the main thing. Okay, we can't throw this away. Gotta get the reactors back online. And the main thing, I really hope that I have gotten rid of most of the nuclear waste, because we need the waste to be flowing again. The spice must flow. You good? This doesn't look very good. Is production on plutonium running? Yes. Yes, it is. That means I've cleared out all of the belts. No other problems. Why is this backing up? We don't have enough uranium. That's okay. The drones should be going off places again. That one is, at least. Right, drones are moving. A lot of this waste is going over to the emergency system. Lastly, if the grid is back online, then I feel totally safe turning our emergency waste storage back on here. Oh, and it's actually running. So the nuclear waste is being processed. Oh, yes. Yes, it is. And because we disconnected and turned so much stuff off, consumption is just in the floor. Like before, this was at 100 in like 63,000 megawatts of consumption. So disconnecting stuff from the grid did actually help a ton. But now we're just waiting on more uranium. And this system is working, yes? No kerium, clog any lines? No. Why is this yellow? Probably no uranium. Is that actually kerium? Oh, Kibitz, I thought you were more thorough. What have you done? If I missed some belts here, that means I probably missed some belts in the main factory. Let's triple check things then quickly. Like the only problem we should have is not enough uranium. Looks like it's moving through there. It is moving through there. This is running every so often. Okay, we're good. Okay, good job, past Kibitz. Added in a bin here to get rid of a bunch of the kerium, so that is free. Everything's flowing. Still no backups, right? If the waste was gonna back up, it would end up in that bin. So this still has to go to emergency processing. I'm a little afraid to see that the emergency processing isn't keeping up down here. Like if these lines stop again, and this waste builds up, we're back at square one. So pardon my paranoia, but are these bins emptying? Or at least not getting too full? No, they're straight up emptying. Just extremely slowly. You can see it's hitting like the 480s from the 490s. Okay. Then over here, this does not look as good, but it is. It is really good. So that's online, if only for now, but we have to work fast because if it crashes again, we'll lose more precious fuel rods. So let's quickly fix this train. I think all we have to do is like press E on this. That's fixed, I think. That's fixed, and then there's one more plastic train. And what a freaking disaster. I don't even know where the locomotive is. Can we just, like, press E on that? Yes, yes we can. Why are you up here? I don't know. I think it's glitched. I don't think it went back home. Whatever. Let's move you out of the intersection. Mr. Bean, you've been taking care of this train? Yes, excited to take a ride? Heck yeah, bud. Thank you for taking care of it. And lastly is this red train, which I think is just a project train. It brings a bunch of items that I need just for myself to all of my other bases. What is going on with that? I guess it's just hanging out. Sure. Probably will fix itself at some point, right? Tracks are clear. Self-driving is on. Oh, we have another huge accident over that way. But I gotta fix that train track I deleted earlier first, because I know I'll forget it, and it'll cause some kind of problem. And then kablooey. But it could also crash the power grid if we reconnect this. Looks like we're fine. Yeah? Yes, we're fine. So everything's off here because we turned off the power switch in this factory. It's really good. I kind of want to use that hyper tube though to keep moving and grooving here. There's still more to fix. I think we're just gonna have to drive it. And you know, driving has its quirks as well. All right, where are these trains at? There you are. Uranium train. Oh, this is kind of good. We can yoink a bunch of the uranium here and bring it to the nuclear power plant. You just gotta be fixed. Spiders, why are you alive? Doesn't make any sense, weird. Why are there so many freight cars and stuff? I don't know. They're all going to the aluminum build. Okay, well then get going. And it doesn't look like that uranium train derailed. Nope, it's going back over here. Very good. But Spider, how did you get on there? You're not allowed to take this ride. Did you pay the fee by leaving a like on this video? You better have. Well, you better not mess up my nuclear power plant. I just spent the last 4 hours fixing it. Now for us, we want all of the uranium that we can grab. And because of my inventory mod, that's a lot. Oh, but this is kind of weird. I went to the aluminum plant here to go and take a hypertube back to the nuclear power plant, but it's not running. Oh, please just work. What the frick? The battery's charging on the main grid. Holy crap, did that just blow the entire grid? No. No? It's operational, it says. It says it's operational. Don't lie to me. Are we back? Oh. I don't know what happened there. Okay, we're just gonna leave. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Let's hypertube back to the power plant and fix things up a little bit more. And that train is still all goofy. Okay. Oh my gosh, I almost died. With the extra uranium we grabbed, we're gonna use it in the nuclear waste recycling area. We'll just have a bin there, throw in a merger, nicely. And that'll just support the system since there's extra nuclear waste going into it. And slowly, as fuel rod production catches up, the rest of the nuclear power plants will reactivate and get our power back to normal. Or we can throw all of the extra ones we have back in the system and let her rip. And wow, wouldn't you know, 10,000 nuclear fuel rods really gets a party started. And numbers are way up. So let's get everything back to normal and see if we can power this grid again. Don't do that to me. Why did it crash? There's no way it crashed. We had 320,000 megawatts of production. Don't meme. Right? We're back? Yes, we're back. Of course we're back. Power consumption went right to like 121,000. Okay. We're using a third of our production. Oh no, how scary. Now we can use our hyper tube to fly back to our main base and get that party started. Why does it keep doing this? Okay, I've had enough of these like jump scares. Why does it keep trying to say it's not working when it's clearly working? Oh, the lights are off. What's going on here? I don't know. The only real spooky factory is going to be for the nuclear pasta over here, because we have so many overclocked particle accelerators. So let me guess, we turn it on, and no crashing? Wait, really? Why did this not crash? Why am I complaining? The most power-hungry factory is back online. And somehow, so is this factory? But this switch is off. Don't really know how that all works. Don't care, it's back on, everything's running just fine. And our world's back to normal. Except for one tiny little problem. Back at the nuclear power plant. The thousands of extra nuclear waste barrels that we have around. But do we really have that many more? 43 there. Yes, we absolutely do. Let's just yoink it. Oh my gosh, it's all backing up too. Whoa, how is this happening? Give me that. I thought we were through this. Well, the processing is online. Kind of, but it's not fast enough. Is this a uranium problem again? Brought over all that uranium. That stopped, so we don't have enough here anymore. So this is too slow. The emergency system is clearly not keeping up. Let's at least empty these buffer bins out so we can have some storage. Or not, because my inventory is already full of nuclear waste. What? Alrighty. Seems we have one more little problem here. Of course, this factory is not going to be working because we still don't have uranium. Where is all of the uranium? What should I do with all this waste? It's clearly all backed up here. Well, for now, I guess we just have to bin it and scoop up as much as we can and bring it outside so our main power plant doesn't clog up again. So I gathered all the waste I could from the plant right now, and things are not looking very good. Because we have like 139,000 nuclear waste just in these bins and more everywhere else that we can't process. Or at least not process fast enough. So drones, what's the problem? Incoming transfer rate over 300, that's good. Kerium, why are you still there? Don't know, doesn't matter. We have backup systems to stop that now. But wait, how is there kerium in that system at all? I didn't put that much into it to corrupt it, and still more is being brought over by the drones? Wait a second. There ain't no way. Did I make the same mistake with the kerium and not disconnect it? I can't believe it. That's ironic. Oh, that's just peak comedy. Not even scripted. Besides that, are there problems at any of the other uranium nodes in the world? There's another one in the red forest here. But it looks like the drones are moving and grooving. That drone's just bringing batteries for this drone. Looks like this drone is doing just fine. 600 items per minute being transferred out. Fantastic. Let's get out of there as fast as possible and check on the nuclear power plant once more for kerium contamination. But this time we have a smart splitter that's getting rid of a lot of it. All right, so last little bit just went through. This thing's all good. Not in the bin. This is all uranium. And I don't think any other systems are corrupted. Nope, we're all good. Just the kerium was ruining the uranium's throughput rate, which stalled out all the machines, which caused waste to build up, and for me to be sad. So the buffer bins will probably end up with a little bit of extra nuclear waste, but then it'll even out. And then in a few hours, I could start to process the rest of this waste. Which means we're all good. The plant is fixed. And we have saved the world. I'm also just glad the risky strategy worked out, because the backup strategy is not gonna be as fun and would have taken a lot longer. But my other plan was just to store up a bunch of power with batteries in the fuel plant here. Once I got maybe 100, 200 of these charged, I'd connect this all up to the main power grid and discharge them all at once to get all the systems back online. So that definitely would have added like 4 hours to this. So I'm glad things all worked out, and I hope you all enjoyed. And if you did, remember to subscribe for more, because once Satisfactory 1.0 comes out, oh boy, I got a new playthrough planned, and things are going to get insane. In the meantime though, if you're curious on how I built this world, you can check out its series playlist by clicking on the link in the description. But until next time, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and bye-bye.